Hi Cancer, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2011, and this is just an outline of the slower, further flung planets which kind of set the stage for the faster inner planets which are the subject of the monthly forecasts. So, first of all, you might want to know when Mercury goes retrograde in 2011. It's going to be March the 30th to April the 23rd. August the 2nd to August the 26th, and November the 23rd to December the 13th. Now, astrologically speaking, there's an awful lot of planetary activity affecting your sign. You're one of the four cardinal signs, and there's going to be an awful lot more when Jupiter and Uranus go into Aries. Jupiter in 2010 was expanding your knowledge base, helping you to make new connections in your brain, but also long distance contacts, maybe a body of knowledge, a field of interest, those at a distance having more to do with another culture in some way. Getting involved in a new field academically, maybe traveling more as well. Jupiter is now going into Aries from January the 23rd until June the 5th. That will change the emphasis there, and new doors could be opening for you professionally, Cancer, particularly in those months in 2011. There's going to be opportunities for you to broaden your horizons, mental and physical, maybe learning whilst doing. On the job, maybe being recognized and given some sort of promotion or some sort of praise or approval from the powers that be. So that does look to be very beneficial. Also, your base of operations could grow or expand to adjust to this new sort of standing in some way. Could actually expand into new areas as well, maybe from home, like over the wires, travel, or sharing your knowledge, your philosophy, your expertise. That could become more of a theme, be more strongly highlighted in that time, and become part of your ordinary working sort of day. The job may provide an environment where you can learn a great deal, but also, for some of you, teach a great deal. Jupiter then goes into Taurus June the 5th until the end of the year. That's in a very supportive vibration to your sun sign, Cancer. Jupiter's beneficial energy here is going to help you connect up with make all sorts of useful connections which are going to open doors for you, I think. And also you could be hanging out with a different social circle, definitely connecting up with those who have a common interest in common. And kindred spirits are going to expand your mind over this phase. Once again, there's this feeling of connecting with those at a distance, maybe over the wires, maybe those, abroad. But your social agenda, your to-do list there with regard to socializing, or this can be for professional reasons, of course, as well as personal. The diary could be sort of bulging at the seams there. Just be careful, though. Sometimes certain people don't overestimate, take on board too much what they say. It might just be sort of a little bit too much up in the air. However, having said that, it could be that new doors do open to you through certain friendships that you make, or a group that you collaborate with, and that could lead to good things for you. So new associations could prove surprisingly beneficial. Now, there's 4 solar eclipses in 2011. The first one on January the 4th is in your opposite sign, Capricorn, and if it makes, the degree of the eclipse makes a connection with an important point in your natal chart, then over subsequent months that there will be the chance for new beginnings in your area of close personal relationships or professional relationships. So working one-to-one or being one-to-one with certain special people or a certain significant other. So there can be improvement there. There can be sudden triggering of change there. And that could be altogether a good thing. And also, the whole of 2011 is going to help you establish a firmer structure at the very roots of your life. You know, you need a firm structure at the very roots of your life, that feeling of security, because that's your launch pad out into the wider world. Saturn is at the very roots of your chart in Libra and will be there until the autumn of 2012. And so you're into a cycle of tying up loose ends from the past, perhaps in the domestic environment, learning how to get along with others. Sometimes it's not that easy, or people in the community, in the neighborhood. It could be that as well. Anything that you've just been tolerating regarding your community, neighborhood, place in the world, influences around, also within the family, you just might decide that you're not going to put up with it anymore. So this could lead to relocation for some of you. For others, you know, a new arrangement, reorganizing things, but feeling certain obligations are keeping you stuck, you know, with family or with the home base there. And domestic equipment, commitments sometimes, and equipment, in fact, can feel quite burdensome during this period here. But you are going to be, you know, most concerned about the well-being of family and nearest and dearest. So, as I say, you can be reorganizing over this time, but doing it in gradual, incremental stages. And also it can be useful if you look back 28, 29 years, if you're old enough, because you were at the same part of the Saturn cycle then. And if you can remember that, and you are the sign of the zodiac with a memory like an elephant, Cancer, you don't ever forget anything. So if you can remember that, then you can remember what happened next. Based on, you know, the decisions that were made at the time. Can be quite an eye-opener, actually. Of course, you're older and wiser now, aren't you? So anyway, there's likely to be a heavier load on you related to family or the domestic environment or the neighborhood or commitments at home or from home or property matters. And certain elements of the past are kind of keeping you pinned down, you know. There's that feeling there. But you've got the chance to build here, to build and improve. Cancerians born from the end of June onwards, you're going to feel the influence of Saturn most strongly at certain times throughout 2011 here at the root of your chart. Now, over January and February, Jupiter and Uranus are very close together. This could trigger sudden events and sudden clarity regarding your overall direction and career choices and what you're doing, you know, for a living or how others are seeing you. This is bringing a real breath of fresh air in there. There could be a sudden change of conditions which opens new doors, and you get this feeling of progress happening. Uranus is going to be transiting the top of your chart, that's to say your career sector, for many years, starting from March the 12th. So there's going to be new beginnings with career for you, Cancer, and your overall life direction, depending on where in the sign of Cancer you were born, it will be affecting you to a greater or lesser degree, you see. But definitely will affect you at some stage over this 7 years, when you could be surprising even yourself with you know, how much change is coming into your life. and how much you are willing to, you know, leave the past behind and move on into the future. So change and expansion, they're going to be a governing factor of the public side of your life for quite a while to come, particularly in the first half of 2011. But throughout the whole of 2011, you'll be learning a lot as you go along, and new doors will be opening to you in the professional area, which of course could be changing things at home. And of course, Pluto is in your opposite sign. You may or may not know this. Means that because of the behavior of others, you know, you're being forced to square up to what your bottom line is, where you're really coming from, and choosing from a very deep place within you the sort of opposite number or partner or mate or co-worker you really want to have now, the sort of people that you want to be dealing with now, and following your gut instinct on that. Actually, Cancer, you earlier Cancerians are going to be feeling that the most just at the moment. But there's going to be an increasing urge for you to be free of outlived, you know, relationship scenarios, setups, professional setups as well, and you know, have a lifestyle which is more in alignment with the real life you, and what you feel you really need, the role you really want to be playing now, and how you want your life to be. And as I say, this is going to affect Cancerians in the first 10 days of the sign. Most of all, you'll be feeling that. Jupiter is aspecting Pluto February the 17th to March the 3rd, and this is when you could be renewing something, starting the ball rolling with something, refreshing something, rehabilitating something, renovating. So you could be quite excited about that, but don't overlook the details. Don't steamroller over somebody else's opinion or feelings, and you'll be absolutely fine. Jupiter opposes Saturn March the 23rd to April the 2nd. That's a time of conflicting energies when you should be successful, but and you know, expand into new areas with regard to the professional area, but just be cautious and be aware of what's going on in the bigger world. Also, elements of the past or old habits, you may feel like they're tripping you up, or you see something looming, you think, oh, here we go again, that sort of feeling there. Yeah, you might feel your responsibilities towards others a bit burdensome just then. So you need to work hard at striking a balance during that period there, and it's altogether doable, and lay the foundations for a happier future. Jupiter then trines Pluto July the 1st to the 14th and October the 16th to November the 3rd, and then again in March 2012. This is a very good influence, and can help you improve the financial picture, or help with a relationship, or trigger, you know, there can be a sudden connection between you and somebody there, or a deeper connection between you and somebody there. And just remember about, you know, choosing from those deeper places, Cancer. Also, there could be professional success. You get some kind of recognition there. It could be that too. Uranus will be in challenging aspect to Pluto July the 8th to August the 16th. This is going to be a recurring aspect in our skies until well on into 2015. That's going to affect us all. That's not just about you. This is sudden event territory, and it means at times, you know, sudden. Unexpected, well, some people would have been expecting it from a long way off. But life-changing scenarios in the fabric of the bigger society. You know, this is a significant time in history that we're going through now, and what has been traditionally taken for granted, economically, culturally, socially, educationally, you know, I mean, across the board, is due for deep transformative change and a real sort of spring clean and a real shaking out of the rugs, you see. So, bearing that in mind, it's going to affect us all in different ways. And at times, though things may be happening fast, try not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but also try not to lag behind either. Just be centered and calm when you are making decisions, and it can be that, you know, things are going to end up being an awful lot better, but in the short term there it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So you know, the advice would be to have a plan B, or have a fallback position, you know, which is about basics, really. You know, it's not about your particular life, you know, it's about, you know, we're all in the same boat here. And so maybe you will begin to see how that applies to you. Now, the second solar eclipse is on June the 1st in Gemini. And again, if there are connections with your natal chart, then that will be a time for you to be beavering away at things in the background, maybe working on behalf of others, maybe involved in healing or spirituality or nurturing activities, or taking more of a time for self-nurturing, taking the breaks there for self-nurturing, making new beginnings there. Also very good for imaginative work, artistic work, and listening to your dreams, listening to your intuitions. Then there is going to be a third solar eclipse, which means that, again, if there are this aspect to the eclipse degree, that's going to be in your own sign, Cancer, and this energy is going to encourage you to reorganize things at the roots of your life, at the foundations of your life. New starts there, new beginnings there. Some of you could be you know, home improvements, shoving things around, or maybe even relocating over those months, subsequent months. And also be ready to take the initiative in major or minor ways with family members, the way routines are set up between you all, and also this could be affecting things on the wider stage as well, professional ambitions, and centered around certain significant relationships in your life. The fourth solar eclipse, that'll be in Sagittarius, November the 25th. Again, if it makes these connections with your natal chart, then that will be a time for fresh starts with anything around work, health, you being of service, others providing a service to you, you being the educator, perhaps the promoter, being, you know, working quite hard at a plan or a project, and also there's going to be two lunar eclipses, one in June the 15th, that's in Sagittarius, and the other December the 10th, that's in Gemini. And again, if they make connections, new starts, fresh beginnings with that area I've just mentioned, to do with work and service and so on, and also, you know, nurturing, healing activities as well. Then in 2011, just a note about Mars. Mars is going to stay for a very long time in Virgo, starting from November the 11th, and that stretches way out into 2012, July 2012, actually. For you, that would be a time for you to be making connections with others. That would be a very good time for you to be finding your voice through speaking, writing, or education. That would be a very good time for you to be socializing and maybe involved in media, buying, selling, promotions, more short distance travel going on there, but an awful lot of chatting going on, at home in your own backyard or over the wires. Well, that's the overview. That's the overview for 2011. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too. I wish you a very happy new year, and I'll see you the next time.